Welcome back to Opinion Journal. I'm Mary Kissel. New Yorkers were treated to another debate between the primary candidates for mayor on the Democratic side of politics last night. I think it's safe to say it is a contest of political midgets. We've got New York Post editorial writer Robert George here to explain. Robert, all these candidates agree with each other. They're all against, for example, stop and frisk.
Yeah. Metaphorical midgets, because we do have to admit that Bill de Blasio is about 6'7", so he is a giant, but a metaphorical midget. They all agree on in one level or another to either get rid of stop and frisk or transform it in such a way that it would be out the door anyway. The sitting mayor filed notice that he's going to appeal the federal judges declaring it unconstitutional. But these guys, almost all of them have said they would drop that appeal if they become mayor.
Okay, I want to play a short clip here of some of the economic ideas that were aired last night. Let's have a listen.
My plan is simple. Anyone who makes less than $150,000 a year is going to get a 10% tax cut. If you make $1 million or more, you're going to pay a 1% more.
My plan is for a tax on the wealthiest New Yorkers so we can have full-day pre-K for every child in this city. And so we can have after-school programs for middle school kids, because the greatest investment we can make in fighting inequality for the long run is to get more kids a good education.
There's so many job training entities out there, but there's no coordination. There's nothing that ties them together. And they're focused on placement, not retention, and they're not focused on the jobs of tomorrow. I want to create a chief jobs officer in City Hall to be able to get that done.
Okay, Robert, taxes on the rich, more spending on education, a job coordinator in City Hall. What would these ideas do to the city?
It would be disastrous. Now, Bill de Blasio is really he is still technically the front runner. And I think we've got a poll will show he's tied for the lead. He's the only one who's explicitly talking about hiking taxes on the rich. But none of the other ones are ruling it out. And of course, you've got Anthony Weiner, who is not going to be going anywhere, but he's still talking about having a single payer health plan just for New York. It would be disastrous, and there's no one there who's really out there talking about serious economic development, lowering taxes or lowering regulation on businesses, encouraging entrepreneurs. That doesn't seem to be the message
Robert,
now.
They almost seem to be against even the job creation that New York has right now. There was a reference last night to low-paying jobs in fast food industry and tourism industry. It sounded like that's just not good enough. They don't want that job creation.
They don't. No, even that's bad. And some of the things that they should be supporting, such as construction, development, things like that. They're all in support of things called like prevailing wages, living wages, things like that, which would put so much pressure on businesses that the businesses wouldn't want to come to New York, because there's too much regulation, too much wage control, basically.
It sounds like everyone, including Anthony Weiner, is way on the left here of the political spectrum. And speaking of Weiner, why is that guy still even in the race?
Well,
is he relevant?
He's not relevant. I mean, he's down to like 9 or 10% in the polls now. But why is he there? A couple of weeks ago, we talked about the campaign finance system. He's got $1.5 million in matching funds paid for by New York City taxpayers, plus $4 million in his own spending account from when he stepped down as a member of Congress. He's got the money to spend, and he still likes the adulation.
Well, look, Daily News came out in these last hours supporting Quinn. Are other papers lining up behind her?
Over the next, the primary is September 10th, so over the next 2 weeks, you will start seeing the New York Times and possibly the New York Post. Stay tuned. Coming in, making a determination in the primary, and we'll kind of see how it's going to play out. Many people think the Times is going to be leaning to de Blasio, but we'll see.
Okay, well, none of it sounds very good, Robert. Gray skies, disaster ahead. New York Post editorial writer Robert George. Thank you so much.